Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue sur IFC, Irwin's French Class. Aujourd'hui, nous allons parler du genre en français. We are going to talk about the question of the gender in French. In this video, I will share with you some tips to figure out the gender of most French nouns. And you will see that the gender issue is not as confusing as learners sometimes think. French language, just like the other Latin languages, is gendered. There are two genders, feminine and masculine. The reason for the distinction is mostly to be found in Latin language, from which French comes. Everything in French, every noun, every concept, whether animated or not, has a gender, and the categorization in feminine and masculine is mostly based on the one of the Latin language. This categorization was completely arbitrary and due to dominant ideologies and masculine domination, which is an artificial construction. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can figure out the gender of most nouns in French just by looking at their endings. Please note that the list is non-exhaustive, and for every ending, exceptions can be found, of course. This is where the beauty of the language resides. I try to compile usual and easy to remember nouns. So let's try with the endings that are typically feminine. The first ending is E accent aigu, E. And by the way, why don't you try to repeat these nouns after me? Alright, let's do it. Fusée, fumée, idée. But be careful with this because there are two very common nouns that are actually masculine ending in E accent aigu, E. Musée is masculine and lycée is also masculine. The TE ending, like in faute, flûte, carte, boîte. The TE accent aigu, okay, with an accent on the top this time. Masculinité is feminine, yes. So it's because of its ending. You see how the ending is actually the most important part, right? Masculinité is feminine. Féminité is feminine. What about virilité? Yes, that also ends with T, E accent aigu. Therefore, it's feminine. Intégrité, liberté. The E, de T, E ending, like raquette, silhouette, vedette, crevette, canette, recette, casquette. Now we have the E accent grave, TE, and E accent circonflexe, TE, like in planète, comète, tête, requête, bête, fête. The E, deux L, E ending is also feminine. Abeille, corbeille. In the same vein, you have the AI, deux L, E ending, like in médaille, volaille. The IE, IE ending is also feminine, like in boulangerie, fromagerie. The ION ending is also feminine, like in télévision, information, impression, compréhension. Now let's do some of the masculine endings. And we're going to start with ET and AIT endings because these two are pronounced the same way, like E. So the ET ending, like in bouquet, secret, robinet, and the AIT ending, like in les, portrait, souhait, extrait, are typically masculine. Next is the EAU ending, and that one is pronounced as O, like in château, gâteau, cadeau, bateau, manteau, with the exception of eau, which is water in French. Eau is feminine. The EIL ending, like in soleil, conseil, sommeil, orteil, is typically masculine. Same goes for the age ending, the AGE ending, like in voyage, garage, personnage, fromage, And this one has a few exceptions actually, like nage, plage, cage, quite a few. The AIL ending is also typically masculine, like in travail, that is very common. The ism ending, be careful with the pronunciation of this one, the ism ending, ISME, like in journalisme, is masculine. And the able ending, ABLE, like in portable, câble, sable, with the exception of table, that is actually feminine. Gender in French can also be guessed by identifying categories of nouns that are typically feminine or masculine. And this is mostly due to the noun that is used for the category itself. Like for example, cheese, fromage is masculine. All the nouns related to cheese, camembert, comté, brands and kind of cheese are usually masculine. Same goes for days and months. They are also masculine. Lundi, mars, avril, etc. Trees, nouns of trees are also masculine typically because arbre is masculine. Chêne, pommier, cerisier, etc. Be careful with languages. They are all masculine. Français, anglais, espagnol. But the word, the noun, langue is actually feminine. So this is kind of confusing, but please remember that all the languages of the world are masculine. Now let's go through the categories of feminine nouns. Voiture et moto, cars and bicycles and motorbikes are typically feminine because voiture and moto are feminine nouns. So when you use a brand like Renault, Nissan, whatever, these are going to be used in a feminine form in French. Nouns of science, of sciences, are also typically feminine. First you get the IE ending, that is feminine. Biologie, chimie, etc. But you also have linguistique, mathématiques, all of these are feminine. Gender is rarely meaningful. Limited nouns change meaning depending on their gender. They are called Epicenes. For example, and you've got the translations in brackets. Un hymne, une hymne. Un livre, une livre. Un manche, une manche. Un moule, une moule. Un mémoire, une mémoire. Un poste, une poste. Un tour, une tour. Un voile, une voile. In conclusion, the point I would like to insist on is that although gender in French can seem very confusing and tricky to get your head around, it rarely impedes communication. Saying un table instead of une table is not a big deal and is perfectly understandable for a native speaker. That being said, gender is probably the hardest aspect of the language to master to reach a native-like level. In this video, I shared with you some tips to figure out gender of most nouns. In the next videos, we are going to cover the indefinite and definite articles in French. These are the equivalents of a, an, some, and the in English. And they can be used to learn and remember the vocab. Indeed, these articles are also gendered and therefore they reflect the gender of the nouns they are related to. So subscribe to make sure you don't miss these. Thank you for watching this video. Merci d'avoir regardé cette vidéo. I hope that the concept of gender in French is now clear for you. I look forward to seeing you in the comment section if you have any questions. Don't forget my pouce bleu and I will see you in the next one. Au revoir, à plus, ciao, salut.